up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Arcades Anonymous. My name is Dan, and we got a wonderful panel. We got some returnees, and super stoked, I can say that correctly, to have them all. We got some topics to talk about tonight. There's a lot of stuff happening in the life of Arcade1up and at-home arcades in general. And there's also just some arcade fun stuff. So we're going to get to that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring out the panel, and you can see how good looking these guys are. Except Charlie. Charlie just doesn't want to show his face.
I'm here. I'm getting set up.
All right. Awesome. Welcome, guys. Mike, I think you might be muted. Phil, how are you doing?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
We're good, man. We're good. I've been moving, right? So I've been in the midst of a move, and it's been kind of insane. It's been a lot of hard work to try to figure out where we're going to be going and trying to get a space for all this arcade stuff. So pretty excited. But
so when's the official day that you're
June 1st? June 1st in the afternoon. So they're tenting the house, and then I get to go in June 1st. They're tenting the house on the 30th. So
you have to have everything out
to where you're living now.
Where I'm living now, they're giving us some time, right? Because there's so many mold issues. In fact, that's why I had a third of my lung eaten, was because of some of the mold in the house, believe it or not. So I could sue them. Make a lot of money, but I'm not like that. So we are, plus they were actually doing us a favor by renting to a pastor. They wanted to rent to our family for like 6 years, and they were great, but they're just really old. So I didn't want to, sue them. So what we're doing is we're just leaving, kind of parting ways. And we haven't been paying rent for the past 2 months, which is kind of our way of kind of saying, okay. So anyways, all of our furniture's destroyed. Everything's destroyed. So we got a lot.
That's where all the Sega carts came from then, huh?
All the Sega. It's literally, if you ever go, Phil, to that connection you have, you gotta let me know. Send me a few. But anyways, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat real quick. Encore MPW, you'd like to remain anonymous. Toxin, Ralphie, Sam, good to see you guys on here. Nerd Lounge Master, Andy's Game Room, Brooklyn Menace, Stock Jock. Oh man, Arzu and Zoo. Oh, man, it's so expensive to ship to Hawaii. Anyways, I'll get that. Multicade Matt, good to see you on here. Ryan Scott, GI Joel. He should be joining us shortly, but his computer is rebooting, so we won't.
It could take a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yes, Mike, we can hear you. We're good.
Oh, so it was you who muted me.
Yeah,
It wasn't me.
Oh, that's awesome. So, real quick.
We ask everybody in the chat who bought the Killer Instinct Cat that the order actually went through in the chat.
Yeah, who bought that for $150 while supplies lasted? Because we're talking about Killer Instinct right now. What the heck happened?
Yeah, I know who bought it and didn't get one.
That was you, Mike. I'm sorry, buddy.
The only one.
I was looking forward to playing Battletoads too.
Oh, I would never look forward to playing that game. That game is so
well
difficult.
with 2 players. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a quarter.
Won't make it very far, but
well, no, you'll just be like the Simpsons when you guys are playing the Simpsons. Just keep continuing, right? Or X-Men.
That's it, right? Unlimited continues.
Toxin.
That's what they made the Game Genie for.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly, for Battletoads.
Did they really? That's why they made it?
They probably had that game in mind.
Charlie, I take you so seriously because you're like this, like encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to everything. So I took you seriously. So real quick.
1/3 of it is sarcastic, though.
Okay. All right, sweet. Ryan Scott says, need to win one now. That's right, Phil. When you reach 1,000, you're going to be giving one away.
And I'll keep everybody updated every weekend on the Walk and Talk.
All right, so everybody who hasn't subscribed to Phil, please go subscribe to Phil at PD7 or PDX7 is what you'd have to type in. Subscribe to Phil, get him to 1,000. We'd love to see another huge, massive giveaway. Hopefully no one in Hawaii is going to be winning that. I'm kidding, but that'll be awesome. I literally made a YouTube account today just to complain about getting my Killer Instinct cabinet canceled. Science Spirits, I'm sorry.
Great.
So,
well, sub to this channel and be entered to win a Killer Instinct cab for free.
Yeah, you have a chance to win one for free. We're giving one away once Phil reaches 1,000 subs. Toxin says, welcome to the club. Well, Mike, maybe you win the cab from Bobby Vu. That would be pretty sweet, Mike.
Yeah, then it'll get lost in shipping or something then, and I'll never get it. It's just not destined to have it.
All right.
So Todd, did you see Todd's comment? Did you get an email from Arcade1up today?
Oh, Todd's getting one. That's
He's
awesome.
waiting to see if it's coming or refunded. But you would have got that email. That what was that, Mike? $25 credit.
Yeah, and you know what? My hand is still kind of sore from that virtual high five. You know.
They gave you. Oh, whoops! Sorry, we don't have any more. Here's $25.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, that doesn't even push you down below, so you can have free shipping or something like that.
Nothing. I know.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, so Charlie, you don't have any fighting cabinets behind you, so you're not a fighting cabinet guy, are you?
That's true. I'm most of my stuff is pre-JAMA, right? So
Oh, okay.
My NBA Jam is a JAMA, my class of 1981 is JAMA, and I've got like a JAMA test setup and and like a bunch of the projects in the garage have been converted to JAMA, but they'll be, except for one, will be deconverted. But
Okay.
yeah, I like fighting games. Don't love them. Probably more of Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter, to kick off a religious war there. But
wow, seriously, wow, okay.
I like it more and more every week.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why are you? Wow, see, look at all these people are not watching anymore. No, I'm kidding. That's good.
I like it. I mean, it's like it's like make me choose between Sonic and Mario, right?
Yeah, that's true. Sonic every day, but that's okay. I mean, Charlie's channel is the best.
Depends on the game.
It does. You're right. The
Take
third
Mario 3 over some, non-Dreamcast 3D Sonic.
Okay. All right. I like it. Real quick, what do gamers and musicians have in common? You guys know? Their fans are super noisy. Oh, dad jokes. Dad video game jokes. Okay. Wait, there's a couple that I want to share on here real quick before we get into some difficult stuff. This is kind of to butter everybody up a little bit. Let's see. It was one that I really, really liked here. This is for, what does the gamer use to make bread? Nintendo. Oh!
Somewhere your daughter is cringing so hard right now.
I know,
She knows.
totally
Dad,
is.
stop it.
Yeah, she is. They use their hands. I'm not sure. Oh, that's hilarious. Do I want to do any more of these? They aren't really that great. That was the only one. Why did the gamer play so many video games after his breakup? He wanted to console himself.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's awesome. I tried to go left when I was playing Super Mario. I was wrong on every level. Wow. Okay. This last one. I broke up with my old console. Nothing was wrong with my Xbox, but it was time for a Switch.
Oh.
Come on.
Why?
What's up, Bobby? Dan is that dad. Yes, I am. I love it. You kind of have to be that dad. You kind of, I mean, maybe you're not. Charlie, you're not a very punny person?
I make terrible jokes. The ones that I love to make are ones that my kids don't get, but my wife does, and she gets mad that I'm saying it for my kids. But I'm like, if they don't get it, then what's the harm?
Wow. Okay. I love it. All right.
You double entendres, that sort of thing.
There's a little bit of that. Now I can't do that anymore because I have a 16-year-old, and he'll be like, I won't mean to say it. And he'll be like, that's disgusting. I'm like, dude, why does your mind automatically go, oh yeah, you're my son. That's right. All right. So let's talk about, all these sales happened with Killer Instinct, and nothing really panned out for a ton of people, right? So a lot of people the Reddit is just kind of going off and going crazy. So, Joel is trying to get on, just so you guys know. What's up, Carl? And so what do you guys think about the future of KI now, or the future of some of these games that aren't deluxe cabinets for Arcade1up?
Sounds like they're trying to push the older ones out the door, huh?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're
clear
trying
out the inventory. Yeah, the deluxe line seems to be taking over.
So
I wonder if we're gonna see anything with a riser though, like
going forward.
I wouldn't be shocked if there was another cab in the future that does have a riser, though.
I think they will.
Okay. Sorry. I'm going to remove Joel here real quick until he can get on. Yeah, no, I think KI has a rosy future. I think that's definitely MG something we definitely want to be positive about. Yeah, KI has a rosy future. Is KI have a rosy future, or does Arcade1up have a rosy future? I mean, I don't know. So
KI is super popular, right? It's hard to emulate in MAME, right? The boards are like the original boards are rare and they die a lot and they have tons of customs and they're hard to work on. So I can see a lot of that demand go into the at-home arcades.
Interesting. So you think KI will stick around? Because they did a KI Pro. Maybe that's why they did a KI Pro.
Yeah, there's a lot of unmet demand out there.
Huh. Interesting. I did not know that. See about the back end or any about all that technical mumbo jumbo. Yeah, I wasn't in it. So Phil, what do you know about what's happening with? Okay, so you said there's a potential.
Well, here's where I came up with this prediction. Okay, we saw Simpsons at $2.99. We saw Terminator 2 at $2.99, and if you go to Best Buy, T2 is still there for like $3.15.
Yeah.
So you just see that trend. And going back to last July, I picked up Ridge Racer and Terminator 2 in the Black Friday in July. And I keep saying this. That's when a lot of the sales will happen. So between now and July, hey Joel.
What's up,
hey
Joel?
guys. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good, man.
Between now and July, I think we're gonna see a lot of those $2.99 type sales. That's what I'd expect from all these retailers.
So why? Okay, so they're putting all these things out on sale as a company. As you kind of go up above this a little bit and go, okay, what are they doing as a company? So you have a bunch of these cabinets that haven't sold, whether it's in retail or actually in their own warehouses, right? I guess there's a warehouse near me in Compton, and you have them putting all these kind of flash sales or fire sales, however you want to like term it. Like, what do you think they're doing as a company? Are they trying to just get their money back? Are they trying to invest in the future? Like, where are they going with all this stuff?
I think they're making space for what's coming. How many Fast and Furious cabs still haven't made it over here yet? What about this big buck? I mean, how true is this big buck? Is it a Pro? Is it an XL? A Deluxe?
How many more Fast and Furious are they going to sell though? That are unless they're going to fire sale those ones when they get here.
Hopefully.
Well, they might.
Are they sold out? Fast and Furious right now?
I didn't see that. I looked at Best Buy today. But I went on to Arcade1up site, and there is no Killer Instinct on their site. So whatever they had, they sold it.
They are gone, yeah.
Like on there, except the Pro, like it's gone.
Well, of course it's not on their website because everybody's super pissed that they had purchased it. They didn't get there. So they're like, oh, just kidding. We don't have it, you know?
It was gone an hour after, though. They took it down and said it was sold out. All that was left was the Pro.
MG says dead stock, clearing space. That's all. Storage costs money. They also may be like cars where you pay credit fees on the stock, so dump it. Could be. They overestimate.
I was surprised that they apparently oversold by so much because, you know, if you watch, what is it, Council Kits, he's got that trick or whatever that he does a lot of the time to see how many stock a lot of companies have, certain cabs or whatever. And like, if you put in, you want to buy like 150 of them, it will come back and say, we're sorry. And it bumps it down to like 110 or something like that. And then he kind of knows there's about 110 left. So it's not like, I can't imagine Arcade1up is using some crappy sales software, you know, shopping, online shopping cart, you know, that doesn't keep track of their inventory and that it could oversell by that many, you know. I think Etsy even does a good job of telling you when you're out of stock by one or two, you know.
How many people though were ordering though? I mean, how many hundreds of
all at once
1,000 people?
Well, I mean, that's dude, $150 for any Arcade1up cabinet is worth it just for the screen and the wood and the controls.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I figured.
The riser goes for $100, I think.
I know, like that's what I'm like, okay, the games, a lot of people kind of poo-poo on the games as far as their quality, is emulation, what have you. The controls kind of stink, but at the end of the day, this is still like what I would totally tweak the heck out of that thing and mod the heck out of that thing because I'm not a huge Killer Instinct fan. So that's why it was tempting to me. And then right when I was getting all these messages, they're like, oh, it's sold out. It's not available anymore. I was like, dang it, $150. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Chip.
And a riser. Wait.
Yeah, and a stool, I think.
You're right.
Yeah, and a stool.
A riser's $100.
I was going to sell
Rise
the
for $100
stool for like
stool,
50 bucks.
60,
you know?
yeah. The parts
I mean,
alone were worth.
You could piece that out and make some money. I mean, so you get to eat that.
Could.
Night, sell it on eBay.
So Phil a marquee.
I've been looking around at screens and stuff like that for a while, and you can't find a screen for less than $120. Arcade1up screen just to drop in at any machine. So
Like a BOE.
yeah,
Like even the coin doors sell for $60, $70.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe even more than that.
Yep.
$80.
I think I was
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
last
I'm
night.
actually probably low.
Okay, real quick. Stupid Fat Hobbit says, I just have to say his name at least one time every show. Does anyone think they do stupid stuff like this for marketing purposes, like to gouge numbers or traffic for their website? They sure like to push their apps and websites. Does anybody actually use their apps, though, anymore? I mean, does anybody use their app?
I went on it yesterday to mark that I had Killer Instinct.
Yeah, so did I. So now thanks for reminding me. I have to get on there to
Yeah,
take it back
go
off
on and
again.
shut
You
it
better
out.
be honest on their Arcade1up app. I mean, come on, you got to have integrity. You can't say I got more cabs than you really do. But
Yeah.
I never. Oh, Jesse, new favorite show on YouTube. I love all the guys on the panel, especially that older guy with a beard and deep, boring, monotone voice who's missing. He is awesome.
Where is that guy?
Yeah, we need some.
I think they got
ASMR.
a stand-in, didn't they?
Well, that's
He's,
you.
he's got the
Long
beard,
gray
right?
beard, monotone voice.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You don't have quite as much of a sexy ASMR voice that he
There we
does.
go,
That's
yeah.
okay. No offense. Okay, real quick. Charlie, do you see that cabinet behind? I'm going to do this real quick. Do you see this cabinet here?
Super off-road,
Oh yeah, look at that.
3-player. It's gorgeous.
Is that not one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen in your entire lives?
I love it. I love it.
Doing-
I want one.
Doing what Arcade1up won't.
There you
Did you
go.
That's right. Dude, you should
You
make
have 3
a
gas pedals.
What Arcade1up?
I do,
That's
yeah.
the slogan.
Three
Nice.
pedals down there. It's still very much, we can't breathe. It's not constructed for the wolf from the Three Little Pigs, because if I breathe too heavy, it's going to fall over. It's being held together by everything short of bubble gum and popsicle sticks right now.
It looks like that Ninja Turtle's holding it up.
Yeah, is that why that's there?
He's helping out. There's actually a flashlight, that's on his shell that's shining up to light up the marquee.
Oh, is it really?
You got,
Yeah.
Oh my
You got
god,
the,
that's great.
I
But
kind
you
of
got the
just
track back
propped
ROMs?
it up just for eye candy for you guys, because I know a lot of the guys in the chat are on the Discord and have been following along to the build, and so I pieced it together a
looks
little
good.
bit tonight so that you guys could see a little
Dude.
bit of it.
That is
Sorry.
gorgeous.
does it have do you have the track pack ROMs on it?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
I'm working on getting a challenge on it too. So even though it's
nice.
like I think that's only a 2-player, but
Well, and you could also get like Super Sprint. You
Yeah.
probably put that on, same form factor, right? Atari instead of
Yep.
Leland, but
Badlands I got on it so that we
Huge.
can have a little. I mean, what can make off-road any more fun except by putting guns on the cars so that you can
Exactly.
shoot each other, right?
Exactly. Oh man, that's so gorgeous. I can't wait. I'm just chomping at the bit for you to finalize that. So you guys, just so you know,
I've been having parts show up in the mail. Seconds parts coming in, Dan. So
really.
Oh,
so I have
Don't
just
say that.
about.
get that FOMO
Actually, I
kicking
have
in.
just everything except for the steering wheel, Glenn's stuff, because that's the most expensive stuff. But everything else, I have 2 of to build the second one already. So
Well, money's on the way as soon as it's done. I promise. I just want that first one. I'm gonna review it on my channel and be like, "Eat your heart out, ladies. Eat your heart out," because I got off road and I'm.
Where's it going, Dan?
Huh?
Where's it going, in the office?
Oh
the
heck
bedroom.
no! It's gonna go into my garage for sure. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna let a kid touch that thing. Not even my 11-year-old. Like gosh, oh my gosh, the way he plays a piano. Like he just saw a piano for the first time today in this house that they're actually like letting us use their piano or whatever. I'm like, I don't want a piano, and he's like just jamming on the keys. I'm like, that's what he does to my arcades. Like I'm not gonna let him touch those things. So heck no.
and you let him borrow your Tears of the Kingdom too, right?
No, it's just I put the game in for him. though. He's got a little Switch Lite. I don't want to get the Tears of the Kingdom yet because I might have been playing that a lot recently. I mean, maybe that's why I haven't been on YouTube as much. But anyways, so Stock Jock, I did my KA order at 3:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mike, when did you get yours?
Oh, it was before that. It may. Oh, geez, maybe around noon.
Okay. All
It,
right.
it was early.
So Stock Jock, yours is
Look
coming.
at Stockshot got it.
No, his got canceled.
Oh,
We were talking
Oh,
on
really?
Discord.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
Wait,
don't know if mine says an exact time, but
what do you mean you got it today, Stock Jock?
I think
The
he said he got
cancellation
his
notice.
cancellation notice.
that's a bummer.
I don't
Someone
know.
with-
Who was
Cheers,
one of the
Nick.
first ones that shared it? I think Toxin. Did he order one, or did he just see it and repost
I
it?
saw mine. I got the email. That's how I found out.
No, I
And then
mean the
started-
original when it went up for sale.
Oh,
He was
Who-
like, I think the original person that posted it in the Discord, and everybody kind of started jumping on it.
Stock Jock?
No, Toxin.
Toxin. Okay.
So I'd
'Cause I
be
remember-
curious if he actually ordered one, or if he just. I did order and posted right away. So did you? Have you got a cancellation yet, Toxin?
No, he's getting his.
Is it?
Yeah, he made sure he ordered it before he posted it. So
Of
yeah,
course.
I'm just kidding.
see, I ordered it and posted it. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Order first. Smart guy.
All right, so Charlie, I need some help here.
Oh, he
Yeah,
just
buddy.
said he got a shipping label, so
Yeah,
his is on the way. So that was
that's
that was
pretty
like 40 minutes after I ordered mine. Mike had ordered his already, and yeah,
nice.
So did yours go through, Joel?
no.
No.
Yeah, Todd, it's not looking good for you, buddy. A lot of things aren't, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm
That
kidding.
$25 though, it won't even make up for my
Let's put
the
all
money
our 25 gift
the
cards
money I
together
put
and
into
buy one product.
ordering the Battletoads marquee.
Yeah, no way.
Mm.
It's like a fourth of that. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I want to ask Charlie this question because Charlie, you're kind of in this community a little bit. You probably aren't like actively because you have your own kind of arcade focused community, right? That is awesome.
Yeah.
You got developing content.
I do own 3 Arcade1ups that have purchased an additional one.
Okay.
But yeah, primarily coin-op, classic, full-size arcade machines.
So which ones did you purchase for Arcade1up?
So I got a Gen 1 Asteroids and for $75 at Walmart,
Nice.
and converted it to basically a Play Choice 10 clone with a NES Classic inside of it. Threw a bunch of extra games on, and I've got 2 NES Advantage joysticks as the control panel. Right,
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
You got to show a picture of that.
I'll grab one. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
basically that's in my kids' room. Basically, when Daddy's not around to turn this on for them, they can play that.
So
I've got the Final Fight cab with Ghosts and Goblins 1944 and Strider, and I bought for my kids' friends for their birthday. It was like a big double present combined with others. The Gauntlet cab,
Nice.
Gauntlet and
Rampage.
Defender and Rampage, yeah.
Yeah.
And for free, I technically bought it, but I used expiring airline miles in the middle of 2020 when nobody was flying and I couldn't use them to get the original Arcade1up Star Wars. So I got that for free with
Nice.
airline miles. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you got a lot of Gen 1 stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gen 1 stuff. It's funny because a lot of us, I'm going to do a video on this later, but a lot of us that's what got us into this was Gen 1, right? We saw these arcades and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. What's that music in the background?
Somebody's arcade,
For me?
I'm sure.
That's Gauntlet playing. That's the Attract.
Gauntlet.
I like
Yeah.
it. Okay. All right. I was like, I'll start to dance.
Dan,
or
you're asking about music. What kind of music? Everybody's got music going.
Oh, well, I don't. I have all mine on mute because I'm trying to be smart. But yes, you're right. You're right. Okay. So what I want to ask you, Charlie, was not really with what arcade you had, but when you first think of this word, now this is kind of a hot topic right now with the Arcade1up community. So I want to be very careful on how we handle this. And everybody in the chat, be nice, right? Because I want to handle this in a mature way, which hasn't been handled really that mature, but it's this idea of gatekeeping. All right. So when you first hear this concept of you're a gatekeeper, what does that mean to you in your community, so to speak?
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, in like classic arcade, right? Like there's quite a bit of that, right? Like people that want to control or arbitrate what the right way of doing things is, right? Like if you're restoring something, right? Like there's a million different decisions, you know. Do you go, you know, hardcore all the way, you know, original parts only, you know, if you can find them new old stock, or piecing them together from games being parted out, or do you buy reproduction artwork, right?
Gotcha.
Do you hold out for, you know, pay through the nose for a, you know, like a Killer Instinct board set, right? Or maybe a better example would be like, you know, Robotron. You know, do you try to find an original working Robotron board set, or do you buy like a J-Rock multi-board that's got Robotron and other Williams games on it, right? You know, so lots of stuff like that, right? Like people trying to tell others, hey, this is the right way to do it. So if you're doing it this way, you're wrong, right? And you know, trying to put barriers to entry, saying, you know, you're not a true believer unless you do it exactly the way that I've arbitrarily decided is the right way.
Okay.
And then they, you know, get people to sort of follow them and agree with them, and you know, push out people who, you know, so it's almost like right, the Monty Python skit, right? The Judean People's Front, the People's Front of Judea, right? Like even people who in like the universe of things agree on 99.9% of the exact same, but they have tiny little differences in opinions, and those become these huge wedges, and they just, you know, get out of my community. You're not doing this. You're not, you know, no true Scotsman would do that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Sounds more like a purist is what Goofy Foot says. Yeah. They probably want to call themselves that for sure. You know, I mean, it's
or it could be the other direction too, right? Like, why would you use original stuff? It's way too expensive. You're wasting your money. You should do it this way. You should only go with, you know, reproduction stuff.
Interesting.
So yeah, pure. I would say a purist is an example, but it could be, you know, a different direction, right? There's like even separate from the home arcade community, separate from the classic arcade community, there's the sort of scratch built community, people who, you know, build their own full size cabinets, right? And, you know, that's another sort of, you know, part of this larger community, and they've got, you know, their own sort of certain ways of doing things, and you know, in that subculture, what the right way of doing things is expected to be. So it's everywhere.
Okay. All right. So when you hear of gatekeeping in the arcade community, right? Toxin, you say, I bet we've all heard this one before. Just get a Raspberry Pi, probably. I just want to play the games.
And get rid of that CRT that's broken and put an LCD in there.
Yeah, because people don't know how to repair CRTs for sure, or they're burned, right? If they're burned, you can't really do anything about that, can you?
You can't actually fix it, right? Like there's no way to get inside the tube and repair the burnt phosphorus on the inside.
Yeah.
You know, the three best things to do in that case are use it with the game that it was burned with, right? So that becomes less visible, right? So like the most common burn you'll see is Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man burn, right? And like it's the maze that's burned right into the phosphorus of the CRT. And if you use it in that game, it'll be less obvious, less visible. Second best thing to do is to use a tinted plexi, even bezel, even if the game didn't originally have it. Having a tinted layer in between the screen and your eyes will help reduce how noticeable the burn is. And I've seen people even put like window tinting, putting that right on the screen to help sort of doing that. Wow. You can turn up the brightness or whatever, or use it as like a test tube, right? For if you're working on CRTs. You don't actually have them running in your, arcade. You've got them just to test chassis that you're working on.
Okay. All right. So Mike, Phil, Joel, what do you guys think of when you first hear the word gatekeeper for maybe the Arcade1up community?
Go ahead, guys.
Well, I didn't understand what the word meant before when I asked you guys. What are you talking
It's
about?
like the new buzzword of the last few weeks.
What do you think it means, Phil?
I've heard
originally,
from what I've understood, you know, it's kind of somebody that's standing there, you know, like a bouncer.
Yeah.
Who can get in, who can get out, you know. We're going to censor you a little bit.
Telling you how to do it, what to do.
You don't agree with us or agree with,
you're wrong.
How I think, you know, we're going to kick you, block you, ban you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to put up with or listen to something that's contrary to what I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jesse says, where I'm from, we keep the drawbridge, not the gate. Too many nuts trying to storm the castle. And I mean that to me, like for me, like I'm not going to go into too much of this, because I feel like this is. I was given some advice right before I came on the show because I had this whole thing kind of listed out on what is a gatekeeper. Let's define it, because I feel like with every single argument, especially theological, philosophical, whatever kind of arguments you're making, apologetics or whatever it might be, hermeneutics, anything, you have to define what the words are that you're talking about, because you may be arguing and you may be in agreement with each other, but you're arguing over something that you just disagree on the word. So, and that can kind of totally throw you off. So defining the actual word. And I'm like, why don't we just kind of look at this for a second? And this is what gatekeeper means. So a gatekeeper first is an attendant employed to control who goes through the gate. Really simple. A person or thing that controls access to something. But then this right here, I'll highlight it. A person who discourages or criticizes other participation in or enjoyment of a shared activity or interest. Now, to me, that's what kind of is very telling right now, because I feel like that's what people are saying what other people are in our community, like, certain channels. So if you do a live show, sometimes you are called a gatekeeper because you won't let people on your live show, right? Sometimes you're called a gatekeeper because you have so many subs, so you must have more insider information. So all these things kind of like, well, should I never do a live show? Should I not have a lot of subs? Like what is it that defines a gatekeeper in this? Because I feel like every single one of us, Toxin, Sam, myself, Jesse, Mike, Phil, anybody who's on here, I mean, Charlie, everybody is a gatekeeper, because we want to be able to defend and protect our own channel, right? I mean, wouldn't every single one of us be considered a gatekeeper? And it's being used right now, because we aren't bashing on any products. Like we aren't criticizing anybody. I mean, at least we aren't. I know some people are, but we're just trying to lift up these products, right? So what is I'm trying to understand what the major issue is. In the chat, you can answer for, you can kind of get in here. Short answer, someone trying to tell you how to have fun their way. That's it. So why do we give people that right? Why are we so emotionally invested when they disagree with us? I'm wondering about that. What is it that is getting us so fired up? And there's been some videos out there that I'm like, it's just kind of nasty. And I'm wondering why is it that we are doing this? How old are we? And why are we continually putting these things out? Is it for clickbait? Or is it to get things off our chests? Is it because we don't know how to communicate? Like, what is it that's going on?
We're all slowly becoming grumpy old men telling people to get off our lawn.
Yeah. I mean,
well, mix
you're
that
not happy
with,
unless you're angry.
You're not.
We'll mix that with the type of personalities that we all are. Clearly, we're all children at heart that grown adults that haven't really grown up. I mean, look at our spaces that we're in. We have toys and games and video games, and we collect them. So there's still this level of maybe we haven't matured.
You're saying we're all immature.
I just got to say,
I mean, some of us quick, probably haven't matured in other ways.
Joe, real quick. Brooklyn Menace says, I call my wife a gatekeeper, but unfortunately it's not a YouTube channel she is protecting. That's glorious.
Without saying.
What's up, Mo? It's good to see you on here, buddy. What is your name? What is your quest? What is your favorite color? I'm confused on that, Sam. I'm confused.
That is the gatekeeper from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh,
Mike.
Get cast into the pit of doom or whatever it was.
Wow, that was great. So what's the key?
That's our second Monty Python reference.
I know. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is hilarious. Cyan is pretty stoked. He's going to go subscribe now. He likes you now. I'm kidding. He's already in. So not your...
so you're not the key master.
So you're not the key master, Brooklyn. Dude, I didn't want to say it here publicly. That's why. Okay, I'll leave you guys to chatting. Ralphie says, "What's up, Mo?" So yeah, I mean, I just feel like there's just a lot of like, we got to get beyond this. We always want to have a good time. We always want to be encouraging to people. But I'm just,
it's extremely unfortunate too, though, because I mean, this is all just meant to be fun. It's not even like. not even like collecting classic cars and restoring cars where, you have your purists and, people that like Ford versus Chevy and things like that. We're talking about video games here, and arcades and bubblegum and tickets.
Yeah. And it should be fun, but I know that
Yeah.
obviously people get emotionally invested on certain things, and I don't want to discount that at all. And I think it's good to have passion for things, but I think we just need to, if we're finding ourselves upset with anybody on here that we don't have a relationship with, let's just pull back and pause before we maybe wait 24 hours or 48 hours before we respond. It's always a good thing. I don't do that with my wife, but I think everybody else should.
And that's the unfortunate part about, text and writing and stuff too. Things can be taken so out of context as well, because you don't have, people's tone of voice and how things are being said. And we automatically get defensive. I think that's our first reaction, is where we get defensive and we start to think this person's attacking me, and so then we try to attack them, and, it might not even have been meant that way.
Yeah. No, console fanboy, it's not just that, Zohar. It's not just that at all. But yes, Joel, console says, what's up to Ralphie? I gotta say this with MG. What's the average weight of a mid-laden goose? Oh man, I love that. That's just a glorious movie. You have to admit.
African or European?
African or European. Wow. Good. It's been years, maybe a decade since I've seen that. So I need to watch that movie. Yeah.
I could have it memorized.
I do. But do you guys agree or disagree? Because damn, but the views are so much higher when I react without thinking. Honestly, though, Zohar is one of the smartest people I've ever come in contact with. So I highly doubt he's not thinking, but that's all I'll say. And he's also amazing at Mortal Kombat, but we'll move on. Gatekeeping is a product of social media. It's everywhere. Zero Redo. You're probably right. And it's probably nothing I can't do anything. I can't shepherd everybody. I know people have told me that. I've had people message me like, hey, stop trying to be everybody's pastor. I'm not
Gatekeeping you.
I am enough. Stop telling me I got to do what I got to do. No, I'm kidding. I'm not trying to be everybody's pastor at all, but I just like, can't we all get along? I feel like Rodney, what was that? The guy in, he says, man, can't we all just get along? What was that in the Watts riots?
Rodney King.
Outrun the Neon Sun doesn't meet many people, huh? Yeah, no. I have way too many people.
Now, everyone's just on their best behavior around a pastor.
Yeah, that's probably it. Everyone's like, I don't want to rip on him because he's going to go cry in a room somewhere.
He's got a direct line.
Condemn you right to hell. Huh?
Foodies do it. Vegans do it. Gym bros and fit girls do it. Influencers are essentially gatekeepers. Well, I think a lot of us are gatekeepers, like I said, for our own channels. So I'm going to wear that. I'm going to say I'm a gatekeeper. I'm a gatekeeper for this live show. I'm a gatekeeper for my channel. But I'm not a gatekeeper for any products. And I think that's what we need to be. We should all make fun of each other. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun as long as people don't take it personally. So there are some personal things that people take it way too personally. Zohar, you know that. Everyone needs a Gandalf for gatekeepers.
It's always fun as long as you're the one watching Zohar's video and you're not the content behind his video.
I can't imagine. Pretty soon, I'm sure Zohar's going to be making fun of me. And it's going to be, I'm going to laugh. And I'm going to probably text him and just give him a bad time for it. But that'll be awesome. People want to see that. It's entertaining to some degree. No, I get it. It's not necessarily something I'm personally into. But if you are, like, I guess that makes sense. I just don't want people to take it so personally and laugh a little bit. But okay, so I want to do this. Anything else before we move on from this gatekeeping issue? Anybody want to? It's kind of
need to be nice to each other.
Everybody be nice to each other. It's kind of. I'd be honored to be ripped by Zohar, laugh my butt off. Yeah, but if they take it personally, why is that my problem? I just want to have fun. I mean, I guess Zohar. I mean, that's fairly narcissistic, but yeah, I get it. I understand. You, of all people, know what that term is, so you're kind of making fun of yourself right now just to be a devil's advocate. But whatever. Anybody been seeing the weekly 1UP stuff? No. I saw the first one that I was on one.
You were, yeah. I haven't watched one.
I haven't watched them recently, but
I decided I wasn't gonna watch them anymore.
Oh, okay. They don't have to.
My first YouTube video is gonna be I'm done with Arcade1up.
Yeah.
because they
That'll get you
canceled my
some
Killer
views.
Instinct.
That'll get you the views.
Oh,
So
the
you
one
built your own.
I was so mad when I got on today and I saw you guys posting that they were being canceled, and I went and looked and found my email, and are you
oh man,
kidding
because you were
me?
stoked.
There was the first cabinet that my wife was excited too that I got, because she just loves deals.
Yeah.
And she was like so excited for me that I got such a great deal. You know, all the other cabinets that have come in here, she's like, oh, another video gamer cabinet. But this one, she was like, oh yeah, that was a great deal.
Yeah. Oh, so MG says, see, it hurts me that Outrun Neon Sun skips my comments. Console fanboy, I have thin skin. MG, that's all perception. I'm so bummed for you guys for the KI. I didn't get it. I'm kind of laughing. Brooklyn, I did want to say you never miss it for the Arcade1up show. To be honest, like, it's actually, you guys kind of have to laugh a little. It's pretty funny. I mean, it was created. It's. Have you seen any of that, Charlie?
The weekly stuff?
Yeah, the 1UP Weekly show.
I haven't seen it.
Brooklyn made the most recent one. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check it out since Brooklyn's on it. He's awesome. But it's
Is this the parody channel?
Yeah, it's the parody channel where they.
I didn't know it was still. I thought it only had one video. I never checked back. There's more. There's more.
Yeah, I think there's
three or four of them.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
Brooklyn made me spend $600 on a PSVR 2. I'm very mad at him. Wow, that's awesome. You got to get not Forza. What's on PlayStation? The racing
Gran
game.
Turismo.
Gran Turismo. Yeah, you got to get Gran Turismo on there. I heard it's amazing. Brooklyn, you got to play that.
No, get an Xbox and get Forza.
I got Forza. I love Forza 5. That's so glorious. I have like 60 videos. Literally, I have 60 videos written down that I want to do that I can't get to. I just can't do them. So, all right. So, okay, Mike, you want to talk about, let's move on, but that's why I don't make YouTube videos, MG says. All right, let's move on. I want to get to this. So let's show a little bit about what Mike's going to be talking about for his NES.
So this is a little side-by-side comparison of the arcade version of Contra and the NES port. I think the first thing you'll immediately notice is that the graphics on the arcade version are significantly better, which is to be expected due to the hardware limitations on the NES. But you can see the NES version is much faster paced and the animation seems to be more fluid. The NES port also seems to have more colorful backgrounds and sprites, whereas in the arcade version the color seems to be a bit more dull and lifeless. You may also have noticed the levels have been extended in the NES version to give the home console gamers a slightly longer gaming experience than you would get in the arcades. Both versions of Contra are phenomenal and a ton of fun, and I would highly recommend playing both if you get the chance, because what is more fun than running around with a buddy and just blasting everything in sight? Both games are highly decorated, ranking among the best for their respective platforms, and rightfully so. But if I had to pick one, I'm going with the NES.
All right. Was that your gameplay on the left-hand side, Mike? Was that you?
That was the NES one was, yeah.
You've played that a few times.
I have.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I don't start dying until probably about the third stage, and then it's just all downhill.
Wow.
But anybody else, I mean, yeah, the NES version, that's one of the all-time greats, I think. I mean, Charlie, you probably would know a good bit about that.
Agree 100%. Got it right here.
Yeah.
This is the copy that I grew up renting, and then when my local video store stopped renting NES games, they sold their inventory, and I bought a bunch of stuff.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got it running right here on the Play Choice 10. So there's Contra tracked mode running on the Play Choice 10. And we even not too long ago there was a thread on the Claw forums, KLOV, Killer List of Video Games, also the Arcade Museum website, on console ports that were better than the arcade version.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the few that you can make that argument.
And it's also, I think, I don't think it's necessarily as close as you made it out to be. Like the NES version is, way more popular, right? Everyone has nostalgia for it. You spend it's a lot deeper. You can spend a lot more time with it, right? So that's like to me a pretty easy distinction or pretty easy call, picking the NES one over the arcade version.
Yeah, and plus with the Konami code,
there you go.
Anybody can beat it.
Simultaneous 2-player cooperative, right?
Yeah,
that's always you and your little brother, or your older brother, sister, cousin, whatever, neighbor,
just run
friend
through and mash buttons.
Right. It's also a good one. I play with my kids, right? And I can help them get all the way to the end with the Konami code.
Yep.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is when you're going up the hill, right? Sometimes my older brother would always advance way too quickly.
Out jump your teammate.
I'd be like, just automatic kills every single time, and I'm slowly, even though I did the up, down, left, right, BA star, like I did the Konami code. It's like by like the third level in the very beginning, I didn't have any lives left. He's just playing by himself the rest of the time. So
it's funny you still know the code.
Oh yeah,
it's funny you're still bitter about this.
I know, totally.
Okay. Supposedly, if with these new home things, the Google and Alexa, if you recite that code to those things, they start tweaking out or they do something. They react to the code. Yeah,
I'll have to try that.
Just for fun.
Yeah. It's not like they take over your appliances or anything like that. They do something. They react to it.
So Steps Gaming says NES Contra is among the best NES games for sure, and that's what I said on your video. Top 3 easily for me. Zelda.
I'm surprised they even tried to make an arcade version of the NES Contra.
No. The arcade version was first, I thought.
It was.
Yeah. Okay, I was like,
it had.
I'm just saying that's one of the games that you like. Everybody knows for NES.
Yeah, right.
They made that for arcade.
Yeah.
But it was very popular back in whenever it was released in the arcades.
And the prototype version of that cabinet had the sickest camouflage paint job. If you go and look at the flyer, right? But most of the ones that went into production just had black or green, I think, as the paint. But there are so many games on the NES that people have no idea that there were arcade versions of, and they weren't necessarily popular, right? They did them almost as prototypes to get the sort of game mechanics down, do a little bit of testing out on location to see if people were interested in them at all, right? And once the NES came out, that really was like the death knell for that kind of golden age of arcade games, right? You had the crash in '83 with the 2600 flooding the market with garbage, right? And the NES really brought that back, and it was so much more lucrative for the manufacturers because they'd rather sell consumers game for $40-50 rather than sell the game for $2,000 one time to an operator, and then the operator is getting all the quarters if the games are popular.
Yeah, and the NES started it up the quality because that was the problem with the Atari. Pac-Man, everybody goes to that, how terrible it was, but the NES could almost handle porting those games over, and Contra was a great one. Donkey Kong's another really good port,
And Atari had better hardware, right? They, they're if you go and look at the history of Atari, a lot of internal corporate politics. It was sort of like the purists that Atari worked in the coin-op division, and they looked down on the home console division. And and then Atari went through all this turmoil, corporate structure being bought out and sold and whatever. And they had, the 5200 when it came to market was a disaster, hardware and even more so the controller. And they sat on the 7800 for the longest time, right? And didn't launch it until after the NES came out. And they were basically dead by then. I think Joel's being pulled into the Matrix or something.
Yeah, he must have entered a Konami code into his computer.
It is weird because I'm not even touching anything. I'm just sitting back here and I started doing that.
Phil earlier was talking about the Rapture, so perhaps you're the only one that's going to be. Yeah, all of us are kind of. Via Gamer says, "Why Arcade1up not the same as real arcade graphics?"
In some cases, they are.
Yeah, in some cases, give me an example.
Fast and the Furious.
I guess Blitz would be another one.
Fast and the Furious. He's doing it again. See,
I can think of 3 reasons, right? CRTs, right? Emulation versus original hardware, and licensing stuff.
Oh, I was assuming they were talking about skins, the graphic.
That's what I thought you meant too.
Design.
That's what I
then
thought.
licensing,
Maybe,
right?
You could have meant
we were talking
video
about
game
pole position
graphics
last time.
But yeah, maybe they were talking about graphics in game. I automatically assume they were talking about outside skin
That's what I
graphics.
thought.
Okay. Real quick, Jesse says, I like the NES version of Kung Fu better than the arcade version also. 100% agree.
Yeah, I've never played the arcade version, but that's a pretty common opinion.
I don't have that one loaded in the play choice.
What, Phil?
I like Narc better on the NES because I can beat it. I don't know how you beat the arcade version when you get to Mr. Big.
You're right.
Mr. Big on Narc or Smash Brothers?
Well, what's his name at the end? I think it's Mr. Big, isn't it?
I think it's Mr. Big, yeah.
I thought Mr.
When he
Big.
turns into that big skeleton. Like,
oh.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not both the same name, are they? I feel like you might be right too, Dan. Somebody out there has to know.
So Steps, real quick. Steps Gaming says, seems like they canceled everyone's KI. No, there's some people who got it, especially in our Discord. They were talking about guys that actually had shipping labels sent to them. So
far, yeah.
But two of the guys on here who ordered got theirs canceled. So I'm not 100% sure. I know Toxin's getting his and a couple others. Pixel resolution on LCD looks worse than CRT without pixel structures. 6 in. 6 in. Just got home from baseball. G.I. Joel is as rugged as I imagined him. Yes, back in the woods. Everyone I know who ordered KI got it canceled. So, but some people got them. I think they probably only had 5 that they wanted to release. And so they sent it out to everybody hoping that they'd sell those 5. At least that's my thought anyway. To Die For says, Arcade1up is all nostalgia. I love Arcade1up. Amen. I see a lot of confused faces right now because you probably made that statement, and I just fully felt for it. I guess whatever.
So I want to engage Super Fat Hobbit's comment. How can anyone not mention Super Mario Brothers is so much better on Nintendo than arcade? So I got a question about that, right? Because there were a couple of Super Mario Brothers versions in the arcade. There was Versus Super Mario Brothers, which was the Versus system was the predecessor to the PlayChoice 10, based on Famicom hardware, just like PlayChoice based on NES hardware. It's almost the same game, except a little bit harder. They remove a bunch of the power-ups, because they're trying to get your quarters. But the Super Mario Brothers for the PlayChoice is the exact same ROM. Maybe better than the original, non-Super, just Mario Brothers, the single screen, going through the pipes and stuff, but they're very, very identical. The actual different versions of Super Mario Brothers.
Sorry, there's a lot of comments happening. I'm trying to. Jumping General says, I have a Devastators that was originally a Contra cabinet. Which game is better, Devastators or Contra? I'm not familiar with Devastators.
Neither am I.
You're talking about the not Nintendo. You're talking.
I've heard of Devastators. Yeah, I saw one for sale. I'm not super familiar with the game itself. I think it had a different name when it got released on the console, right?
Yeah, because I don't think there's a Devastators for the NES.
It'd be one of those that's really hard to find. I don't know. And Haunted Castles was unplayable. Is it different from port to port? I played Super Smash Brothers when I went to Tokyo on a candy cab. Is it? Wait, no. SME, Super Mario Brothers. Excuse me. Castlevania NES is way better than arcade. Yes, absolutely. What arcade was that? That was it was after Castlevania came out, I thought. And they created an arcade. It was like Haunted Castles or something like that, wasn't it? What was the arcade?
Yep. Yeah. Haunted Castle. Terrible.
Yeah, that's what.
But it wasn't. Yeah, but like you're saying, it wasn't like Haunted Castle didn't come out first, and then Castlevania was based on it. It was really like the other way around. What's up, Jumpin' General?
It's the arcade game. Gotcha. Okay. Console fanboy Zohar says, would anyone get a KI Pro if they sold it for $4.99? All right, let's talk about that. Would you guys get a KI Pro if they sold it for $4.99? Immediately no.
Strongly consider it.
One already, right? If you didn't have KI 3/4, would you get it for $4.99?
I feel like it's a pretty good deal for $4.99.
Immediately no.
It's a good deal, but I mean, I was still trying to figure out where I was going to put the regular KI.
See, I'm just a sucker on the deal.
But for $150, I
make room.
Yeah,
like Zohar's comment, I do a drop test with it or something. There's a lot of different things that you can do with $150.
A table saw test.
$600 off. That's the deal.
That's too much. That's too much not to get it right.
Okay, real quick. This is actually BCB says this. How can you guys not mention? Well, because we're not. This isn't a topic, BCB, but we can make it a topic, I guess, right now. How can you guys not mention the NES Double Dragon over the arcade?
Because the NES Double Dragon was only one player.
Oh,
That's a good point.
Double Dragon 2 is two.
Double Dragon 2 is double player,
Okay.
but Double Dragon
2 and
1 for
3.
the NES was one player. So it's like not even a double dragon, it's a single dragon.
It's still a great game, but
Well, I mean, okay, so I like Double Dragon on the NES. I don't really like Double Dragon on the arcade. I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt like there wasn't a lot of movement with the guys. Like if you look at Final Fight or if you look at Streets of Rage, just the massive difference of playability and movability. It just seemed like they were just like these small little sprites on the screen that I don't know. I know it's horrible. Some people are gonna like burn me at the stake, but I'm not a huge Double Dragon 2 fan.
It's not comparable to Streets of Rage 2.
No.
I mean it's
Definitely
total.
not.
Because Genesis does.
Well, it's also unfair because it came later. Like Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
You probably wouldn't have gotten Streets of Rage if it wasn't for
Double Dragon's an 87 title, right?
Yeah,
When
no, I
Streets
get
of
it.
Rage 2, 91.
probably.
Yeah, probably 91. Streets of Rage 2, you said?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna say 91.
I don't know. Different technology, obviously different. Single Serpent would have been a better title. Single Serpent, don't know that one.
That's funny.
Double Dragon.
Instead of Double Dragon.
Yeah, I get it. Double Dragon arcade has a lot of
It's a
slowdown if
thinker.
it's done right. MG is full of them. He's full of them. It's good.
Final Fight or Streets of Rage 2.
Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, me
100%.
too.
Streets of Rage.
Yeah, I think Sam was saying it's good for the Sega. I think the Double Dragon 1 on the Master System was 2-player simultaneous, I think.
That makes sense because they can handle it, right? Whereas Nintendo couldn't. That's just. I didn't even say the name that time, Mike. I did not even say the name that time. All
I
right.
knew where you were going with that.
No Arcade1up is worth more than $4.99 anyway. I only paid more than that than what Star Wars Arcade is worth because Star Wars. Agree or disagree? Joel, what do you think?
I kind of agree. I would agree.
100%.
Yeah.
I think they should
Pinball. The
price
pinball
that
tables
more,
are
right?
kind of leaning that. I think there's a lot of value there with the pinball tables that they had. I know a lot of people seem to knock on them a little bit because of they didn't become as popular. But I think I still think it's one of the best virtual pinball tables that they've offered for sale. You know, better than the ALU or whatever and things like that. So.
And now II Arcade has lost Double Dragon.
But they're bringing out Send and Light Gun games.
They are.
And that's what iArcade's going to be known for.
Yep.
They're going to get all the shooters.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see. And so how do you think other companies are going to respond? Like, besides Joel's video.
Why did Arcade1up bring Big Buck Hunter back? Because they know iArcade's getting a lot of the Send and Light Gun games.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and so they're going to try to compete with that. So, do you think they're going to try to really push out then Time Crisis? I mean, is that going to be another release?
Well, we'll see Time Crisis this year. There's no doubt.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to get that either. I'm not. I really want 80s cabs. I mean, that's all I would. If I'm going to buy any more, I'm going to get an 80s cab.
I mean, what draws people in the arcade the most? Racing and shooting games, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess. But for Arcade1up, they're all kind of the very similar form factor. So it's not necessarily going to be. I mean, yeah, you have a wheel on it. But for me, I'm like, I don't really want another racer. And Outrun isn't always gone to because you have to put a quarter in. I put an X Arcade coin door in it, but it's popular. But it's not like people they generally go to like the simple, easy, quick game beat 'em ups like Golden Axe. Like that's kind of like become or Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is what they go to because they play the fighters or Street Fighter 2.
Right.
Or they'll load up my Raspberry Pi and they'll play like Street Fighter Alpha or something like that.
I mean, you could knock Fast and Furious. A lot of people are. You know, maybe it doesn't look as great as the actual arcade, but it's a 2-minute game. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to have that variety. And I think everyone who has that type of game, I think we're satisfied with it.
Yeah. All right. All right.
A beat 'em up's great too, but it's going to invest 35 minutes of your night.
Yeah. I mean, like, so you okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm a big beat 'em up guy too, but it's a half an hour.
So Todd says, Nerd Lounge Master, you heard it here first. Phil predicted Time Crisis will be released this year, I believe. Well, yeah, Phil's never wrong, just so you guys know. I mean, he was right.
Have we known him to be wrong yet?
I mean, no, not
so.
at all. Combat Tribes is way better than Double Dragon anyways. I don't know. That must be an IRK game.
I think that was Konami.
I think
Combat
Arcade
Tribes.
has it and at games.
Sixon says, I only want Qbert with a knocker. That's all.
That's the only way to play Qbert.
Yeah, that's day one though. I mean, that's a day one purchase for so many people, and they just can't get
with all the versions of Qbert, with Qbert's cubes, with maybe they could pull off Mad Planets. I mean, the controls all are different, right? That's kind of the problem with that all those Gottlieb games, right? You got the Qbert sort of twisted, 45 degree controller. And then Mad Planets has the flight stick and like Tempest Spinner, and then Reactor, which is an awesome game, is a trackball and buttons. Fitting all of that onto a single control panel is tough.
That might be tough. MG says, "What is this knocker thing?" People bang
the knocker.
On.
You don't know what the knocker is. So in Qbert, right, you fall off the edge of the pyramid, you hit the ground, and the pinball knocker hits the side of the cabinet to give you like a real sound, like Qbert just fell off.
I think he just likes to say knockers.
Yeah, he just wanted to. Yeah, he's just. I don't think I played Qbert on arcade. Maybe just a 386 DX with a turbo button on. 386 DX 66.2 with a turbo button on. 386. I don't know that. That's not a console.
PC. It's a PC. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Intel 386.
Intel. Okay. Reactor's soundtrack is amazing. Of course, Papa Brad. I can't tell by every single thing that's on your video. Jeez, you need to get a room with your videos or something like that. Good Lord. MG says, "Oh, I love knockers, but that's in the cab." Okay. All right. Yeah. Reactor would be Reactor would beat good one on the. Would be a good one on. Sorry, Andy. Could it do with the joystick like they did with the trackball with Aka R? What's up, JR?
That's probably true.
Yeah, maybe. I use knockers for most of my. Yeah, we all know console fanboy. We all know. Okay?
Especially recently.
You guys don't need it. I mean, honestly, we know who's obsessed. Okay, you don't need to remind us. It's not like, oh, really? Like, oh, I gotta go check it out. Like, that's why I don't always look at my phone when my wife is around, because I'm afraid I have console fanboys like thumbnails like first thing on my thing, like can get in trouble or something like that. Oh, that's hilarious. Carlo, MG, you dated yourself every stream. You date I don't know.
He's dating himself. Yeah. He's busting out old references.
If you're born after 1964, you're technically not a boomer. There we go.
Just looked it up.
Oh, jeez.
Constant Fanboy is so hot in that. It's so hot right now. Oh, what is it? Zoolander. KFB's thumbnails are the best. Annie, please stop. Like, we don't want to encourage Zohar. He doesn't need encouragement. He's going to do his thing, but come on. Anyways, well, we talked about gatekeepers. We talked about KI, the return of everything, and how there was probably just a few of them. We talked about what the potential like leak. Personally, I think the potential on what we're going to get in the future. You're thinking more along the lines of more light gun games. You think it's going to be Arcade1up going to be releasing Big Buck Hunter or Big Buck World and Time Crisis. That'll be their big thing this year is light gun games.
Can I leave everyone with a cliffhanger?
Okay. Yeah.
The next 80s cabinet isn't going to be Qbert.
I know. And how do you know this?
It'll be another Pac-Man.
Check out my walk and talk. I'll get into it.
Look at that plug. That was a plug.
Is it to be continued there?
Well, I like it. All right, go see Phil's walk and talk. Remember PC.
While you're there, remember to subscribe.
Yes, remember to subscribe. We want to get to 1,000. That laser was the best weapon in the arcade, JR. So OP, overpowered. JR. What did he say? Mike Worley loved
the laser.
Yes,
being the best weapon.
Yeah.
In the arcade, it was not in the NES.
I never used it for the NES. It was just
it was kind of, if you spammed it, it didn't work well.
Yeah. P-Dub's never getting his Qbert cab. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I have some thoughts.
I think we'll get Qbert. I just don't think that's the '80s cab for this year.
Maybe someday.
They're ready yet.
So Charlie,
Joel gaming cabs.
So Charlie, for those who are like so obsessed, we got to make it our mission to be able to like find and redo Qbert cabs and just sell them for a ton.
I got two in my garage. They go for so crazy, right? Like at the I don't know if we talked about this last time. There was a recent Dallas auction and a minty Qbert one for $4,000.
Are you serious?
That's super, super high. And like a lot of people think, coin ops are like, I don't think I've spent $4,000 total all my games combined.
Yeah, mine was free, so yeah, I haven't spent anything for my arcade.
But yeah, I got two empty Qbert cabinets in the garage that are in my restoration queue.
That's one thing I'm really excited to do. I'm going to sell my Street Fighter 2 arcade so I can get like 2 or 3 more that I can restore. Like and I'll be like zooming you like every single day to try to figure out this stuff.
Bring it, dude. Bring it.
So excited.
I love it.
And I want to get a Qbert, but it'll be like a horrible version of a Qbert. I'd like to get a Miss Pac-Man, and because those are all easily readily available generally, except Qbert.
They made so many Pac-Mans, yeah. I mean, and they made a ton of Qberts. They just don't come up for sale as much. But what's nice about Qbert is you can get a J-Rock board for it. So hardware, FPGA emulation, and it's got all the different flavors of Qbert.
Okay.
But plug and play.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good.
Yeah.
To-do list. Finish 3/4 off-road, start building 3/4 Qbert.
Dude,
there you go.
Oh my gosh.
And NHL in there somewhere.
NHL.
My gosh.
Open ice.
Seriously, that's another one. I know off-road was like our thing, Joel, but like Qbert, dude, you got to go into business, man. I'll invest. I'm serious. We gotta really consider that. You don't want to be partnering with me though. There's a lot of comments. I like Dan's walk and talk. Not sure, Papa Brad, what you're talking about. I have never done a walk and talk, and I will never.
I think he's talking about
you did a stand in line and talk.
I know. I mean, I'm never going to do a walk and talk because I feel like, I won't say anything. But anyways, you guys, thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Arcades Anonymous. Join us next week, hopefully, because I'm right in the middle of a move. So I'll keep you guys posted. Join our Discord channel. Phil, you want to say something?
What game was that?
I thought we were going to talk about Quackshot, but I guess not.
No.
You want to see a sneak peek of something? Don't
have time. Oh, dude, that is so gorgeous. That is
Joust.
5. I love Joust so much.
Grand finale of my restoration series coming on Sunday.
Nice.
Is it weird that I'm getting notifications right now that we're going live on my my YouTube, my email? That's pretty interesting. A little late. All right, you guys. Well, I didn't hear that last part, Charlie. Anybody else hearing him?
I'm not hearing him.
Okay.
I was saying I got the same notifications because YouTube is a trash platform.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. We'll all be doing Kick here pretty soon. So, anyways, I'll do Quackshot next week. It's one of my favorite games of all time. First game I ever beat. So we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about another NES game, and hopefully there's not going to be too much more drama. And if there is, let's avoid it. Let's hang out in Discord and enjoy each other. So, with that, without any further ado, I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for joining us, you guys, on this Arcades Anonymous.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, chat. We'll see you guys soon. I'm going to do this. I've totally